who could get effective medical treatment chooses not to in favor of the, I don't know, cheaper or more pleasant non-treatment that doesn't have any, evidence to back it up that it's even doing anything at all.
It's the person that I would rather, instead of, going and seeing a doctor and potentially dishing out money for that, they'd rather, drink some honey water and think that it's going to cure some, form of bronchitis that if they do get better, their body probably just fought it off naturally. Things like that.
Right. The honey water is soothing in the meantime, but your body is still hard at work fixing the problem. And could get there quicker if you took, I don't know, Tessalon Pearl or something, some medication.
What's funny is while we talk to a lot of people about their individual beliefs, I'm glad that you called in with something, even though we all absolutely agree with it. It should be said more. I mean, in the meantime, Gwyneth Paltrow is, pushing her website Goop that has people put jade eggs up their vaginas and steam and laser themselves and all kinds of wackadoo stuff. The very real, very basic, hey, we live in a non-magical world, and that, believing in something that is not true has real consequences. It doesn't feel like it's said enough or reinforced enough. So I really appreciate that you called with that, because it should be something that everybody recognizes. And if it's not, then we got to talk about it enough until people do, because holy shit, that I don't know, of all the things that I, overcame when I moved from religious to atheist, that was not something that I needed to deal with.
No.
I never, because if something isn't true, and it can be damaging, obviously, you've got to figure out what is true.
Right. And if you feel that you can say, or are somehow justified in saying, my thing is beyond inquiry and beyond studying, and I don't need to show evidence for my particular woo, then then there's nothing you can say in response to the next person who says, well, my thing that's different than yours, I don't need to verify. I don't need to provide support for it either. And you can go into quite a spiral.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'll admit, I still have a few kind of weird things that I, do, even if it's not necessarily proven to be the best idea or even that'll make a difference. For example, real quickly, certain plants, they say you should only repot them into a larger size pot if they're in an active growth state. Now, this is based on this idea that, hey, if you don't wait, you're going to disturb them and you could cause damage. And, and the way I evaluate it is it does me no harm, really. I have another quick example, but it does me no harm to just wait until the plant is starting to grow again, because it doesn't need to be repotted if it's not growing. So why not just wait, a week or two or however long it's going to take and then repot it? And, maybe in the future, if I have enough extra things to work with, I can do a small experiment where I disrupt something that's not growing and I, let something grow before I disturb it and see if that makes a difference. This is one of those things where it's just a precautionary thing. Same thing if I'm working with moths and I don't know if the eggs are later fertile. Well, it doesn't take that much out of me to hold the eggs for a week and see if they develop, because you just put them in a cup. It's not like I'm chopping down a tree and having to shred it by hand and spend hundreds of dollars on equipment. It's just, you put something in a cup and wait a week. Not all of these things are treated equal in terms of whether or not you should just play it safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's a distinction between, promoting something which has been, shown to be unverifiable and have no effect versus, an area where the evidence is inconclusive and therefore, hey, I'm going to do this because it's not harming anything.
Yeah.
And with the repotting the plants, maybe it makes a difference, maybe it doesn't. I haven't seen, a study that says one way or the other. yeah, there's seems to me to be a clear distinction between promoting something that has been shown not to do anything over and over again versus, taking a course of action that seems to you, to be prudent, and there's nothing that's indicated to you otherwise.
Yeah.
I'm very.
I think we agree, and we would absolutely hold that at the core of it, if you have an unfounded superstition and you are promoting it as true, it has very real consequences. Alex?